But
replay.
If you want to talk about summer.
Oh, speaking of summer.
Speaking of summer, this song has summer in its title. And we're going 3 years into the future, into 2011. This song is by FX with their song Hot Summer.
FX has had a lot of summery songs.
Yeah.
I think Electric Shock was.
Yeah, Electric Shock was also released during the summer.
But of course, you got to pick the one that's called
Summer in its time. Come on.
So why'd you pick this one?
So I picked this song because when I was really, really getting into Girls' Generation, that was a time where I was also really, really getting back into K-pop. Like, I kind of followed K-pop just because I'm Asian. I'm from California, so you have a lot of Asian communities there, and you listen to a lot of Asian songs as well. But this was, I remember, one of the songs that like was on my like K-pop playlist. Like, I was just so excited about K-pop at that time, and I feel like a lot of you listeners and a lot of you people who are really into K-pop can remember a golden age of K-pop, where you first found out about K-pop, you don't know from where or how, maybe a friend introduced you, or you saw some music video, or you saw a guy or a girl and you're like, dang, they cute. And you searched them up, and then boom, you fell into that K-pop bunny hole.
Boom,
and
you find out Sui 16, you're like, fuck!
And then you just fallen in that, you just fallen and fallen and fallen, and then one good song leads to another good song, and another song leads to another group, and that group has like 10 more songs that you like, and it's just what I like to call the K-pop tornado.
Yeah. It's like when you can binge all the great stuff, right? You don't have to sit through the 87 shitty releases, right?
Where like every K-pop song you stumble on is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And this was one of the songs that when I was really stumbling into K-pop was one of the best songs ever. And FX was one of the groups that I was like really, really, really into.
You do like FX a lot,
yeah.
Way more than me.
Yeah.
I mean, I of course I know this song. I know this song very well.
Yeah.
What's your favorite FX song?
That's kind of hard to say. I really like FX, their Pink Tape album, and there's kind of a song on there that's my favorite. I think it's called Shadow.
I think I remember you saying you really like that one.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that song, but that song I listened to a lot before I came to Korea. Like, I remember listening to that album, like, flying to Korea, like, super excited about, starting my new life in Korea. And that song will kind of, frame that memory for me for all time.
I would have thought you'd pick one of the, like the iconic, FX songs, rather than like a B-side.
Yeah,
one. But
I think it's my favorite song because it invokes that memory for me. Like, I think it's not even like their best, like, catchiest song or like the song I enjoy the most. But listening to that song like transports me back, nostalgia, time, travel. And I think a lot of these songs kind of do that nostalgia time travel for us.
I mean, that's what makes this. That's why I wanted to do this, because we usually only talk about songs in that current year.
Yeah.
And we don't really get to talk about some of just our favorite songs of all time, and this gives us a chance to do that.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite FX song is?
What is that?
Red Light.
Is that if you guys don't know, Steven's favorite song of all time could be FX's Red Light.
I love like when I really want, like when I'm really depressed, I want to kill myself, I put that song on.
Yeah, when like, you know, there's a lot of earwax in Steven's ear, and
Yeah,
like we really can't get it out. He listens to Red Light and the blood just gushes out, so it pushes the earwax out.
I use one phone, I use one headphones with Red Light, and the other one's Taemin's Drip Drop. And it just
clears it out.
Like when I want to like fake like I have a headache, so I look sick when I go to work, I just put those on. My eyes are all red, like my head, and then they're just like, "Oh, go home, you look sick."
For the record, Steven really hates Red Light.
I think they could tell. They could tell.
Really, really, really hates Red Light. But what is your favorite FX song though? You might not have one, but you're not a huge.
I'm not a
FX
huge,
fan, right?
but I think let me look up the discography. It might be like Electric Shock, but I need to look.
UABO, La Cha Cha, Chew, Rum Pum Pum.
Hell no.
You don't like that Rum Pum Pum? You don't like Pinocchio Danger?
It's either Electric Shock,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
La Chata,
La Cha Cha's a good song as well.
or New ABO. I think those are. I don't know which one's my favorite. It might be La Chata because I really did like La Chata. Maybe I just like SM debuts and then they just all go downhill from there.
Yeah, and also, you know, just FX has really interesting song names as well.
They do, and they also have very interesting songs as time goes by. It just gets like they try new things, you know. Electric Shock, then went Rum Pum Pum Pum, then Red Light, then Four Walls.
4 Walls,
and then that new one that they did for Station called All Mine, which was
interesting as well.
That was the opposite of interesting. It was boring as shit. But speaking of girl groups in the summer that I like,
summer, hey.
This does not have summer in the title, sadly.
No.
But it is from my favorite girl group of all time.
Yep.
And there were 2 choices, I think, of songs that were released in the summer. One of them was So Hot, which I originally was like, ugh. But this song by the Wonder Girls is much more, I think, summer appropriate. And this song is called Like This. Like this. Na 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 like this. So the Wonder Girls. So the reason I like this song, partially so much,
why,
is because the Wonder Girls went into this big ass dip of like, what are y'all doing? Okay.
They had a mini implosion of sorts.
Well, they did, and they also had just songs that like I just didn't like that much because. Like, you know, it was like, Tell Me, fucking amazing. So Hot, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Nobody, super fucking amazing, right? And then they had this, like, 2 different tiers, which I didn't really like that much. Be My Baby, I didn't like very much. And, and they were like, we're in America, y'all, we're in America. And I was like, no, I'm not down with that. But then when they came out with Like This, I was like, yes.
I remember
what made Wonder Girls so great. I love this. Okay, not only because of the song, which has a really, really great bass on it. I used to play this song in my car, which I've said before, but I have like a pretty nice bass system. But like the bass is, you don't even really hear the bass on Shitty Things. Like you don't even hear it when we were listening to it earlier, but like in my car on a nice system, it's like the whole car shakes and the window, and like I'm like, I love this. And then of the dance is just not only is it so different,
it's funky
than anything else, even to this day that anyone's really doing. It's just so fun. And it's something that, similar to a lot of the older Wonder Girl stuff, is just anybody can learn it. Right. It's not particularly hard. Right. And they even show that off because the music video is like this faux flash mobby thing. Yeah. And I'm really feeling their Why So Lonely song now. Yeah. But like,
such a different.
It's been a long time since Nobody in 2008, and this was like the ones before Why So Lonely, even including I Feel You. This was like the one and only shining spot in like 7 years
for Steven. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, like with getting really really into K-pop, you learn like a lot of K-pop dances, and this is I remember one of the songs that I learned the choreography to, just for fun, just because I watched it so many times, I just like started to mimic it, and just like, and this really brings me back to a time where it's just like, man, learning K-pop dance covered things, and it's just really nice.
I mean, it was 1,000 times easier to learn K-pop dances in 2012 than
yeah.
Like you try like one shot learning like G-Friend's Naviera, and you're like, no, I can't do that. You're like trying to learn EXO's right really fast nowadays. It's like, no. You need to put in some work nowadays because they upgraded that shit so much.